Training in the gym is awesome. Obviously we all love it, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video right now. And if you're 21, you can kind of get away with training hard, eating whatever you want, drinking every weekend, hardly sleeping, and you can still perform well. But if you're like me and you're in your 30s, doing all of these things is a little bit more likely to kick you in the arse. So like any good health enthusiast, I spend just as much time learning how to try to hack my way to better health, cognition, and energy, just as much as I do to strength, fitness, and performance. And it is because of this that today marks my first ever monthly favorites video. I'm gonna be posting a video every single month where I share with you things that have been incredibly helpful in keeping me fit, strong, healthy, and awake, or asleep, depending on what the objective is, and focused. What's going on, team? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Jim Galvin, and on this channel, we cover all things training, nutrition, biohacking, and ancestral living to help people just like you cut through all the fluff of the fitness industry to work out what you need to do based on your individual biology and wiring to help improve your performance, your health, and your physique. So let's get cracking, shall we? So today, on my first ever episode of my monthly favorites, I actually wanted to share a couple of things with you. Two things, both of which are, in my opinion, the two best drinks in the world that pretty much no one is drinking. So let's start off this video as we would start our day with a good old-fashioned cup of coffee. But not just any coffee, mushroom coffee. You put mushrooms in your coffee. No, I do not put mushrooms in my coffee. For the squeamish amongst you, I will let you know now, it does not taste like mushrooms. Why would you do this, you psychopath? Some people may fairly reasonably ask. Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Most people drink coffee for one primary reason, for the caffeine, which has a host of benefits on your neurology and your brain chemistry, which, as we know and as we've experienced, helps increase concentration, focus, and attention. Another food type that does all of these things are certain types of mushrooms, namely chaga, cordyceps, and lion's mane. Mix them together and you are in for a positively wicked, supercharged, compounded positive effect. And this is exactly what Four Stigmatic and Super You have both done. Both taste amazing, they're super healthful, and genuinely, guys, I feel a lot less of a crash after one of these cups. So starting off with a Super You Shroom Coffee to start with, guys. This is basically a blend of premium instant Arabica coffee, so it is instant. I do think they do ground as well at the moment, but it's not something that I've tried yet. It also has maca, and it's dual extracted chaga, cordyceps, and lion's mane mushrooms, these three amazing compounds that I mentioned a minute ago. And as they say in the product brief, guys, it's an amazing way to kickstart your morning or to power your way through your afternoon. Another interesting benefit for those of you that are looking to decrease slightly the amount of total caffeine that you're taking in through the day, this is actually less than half of the amount of caffeine that you would get in a normal cup of coffee. And as I mentioned a minute ago, they mentioned on their website as well, it is an incredible effect where basically you get all of the energy but without the extra jitters and the crash that you would normally get with just Arabica bean coffee. Four Stigmatic, massive international brand. Let's see what they're up to. Brews smooth, dark, and remarkably crash-free. I can testify that that bit is true. It is coffee plus lion's mane and chaga equals a deliciously balanced brew for both brain and body. All the things you love about coffee, none of the things you don't. All the energy and the neurological benefits you get with caffeine are compounded when you have this, and all the downsides of coffee, which is basically some of the jitters, the crash, the properly overly, more so than you'd want, spiked heart rate, you don't get any of that. It is all the benefits and none of the downsides. There is a reason that my first ever monthly favorites video features this particular product. And one little extra knowledge nugget I will offer you is this. In the first 90 minutes of being awake, what's called your adenosine system, which is the system that the caffeine in coffee binds to, isn't actually active, which means if you're sinking down your first daily cup of joe in that first 90-minute window, it's probably not actually doing very much. And not only that, because your adenosine system isn't working and because it can't bind to it properly, it's not like it just flushes through your system, it actually causes an increase in fat retention, specifically around the lower abdomen area, which in my experience with my clients is the one area that they're trying to avoid fat retention. High amounts of caffeine in the morning within the first 90 minutes of you getting up really isn't waking you up. The reason why you might feel as though it is because you're getting more and more awake because you've been awake for less than 90 minutes anyway, and all it is doing is causing a little bit of extra fat around that pooch area. If you cannot completely kick the habit and you enjoy that routine, that kind of that habitual nature of drinking that cup of coffee, my advice personally, switch to decaf. Mushroom coffee done, out the way. Make sure you get that in your daily and weekly routine. On to hack number 2 of the day. This leads on to my second monthly favorite, which is, as I alluded to earlier, another drink, bone broth. beautiful beverages today, right guys? So for those of you that don't know, bone broth actually contains certain vitamins, minerals, and amino acid profiles that don't exist in the fleshy part of the meat that we probably most commonly eat today. Back in the day, we were nowhere near as picky as we are now. We wasted pretty much nothing. We ate almost everything in the animals that we caught. We ate what's called nose to tail, used to boil up the bones and the cartilage, eat pretty much all of the organ meats, and one of the extra benefits was, again, we got these vitamins, these mineral and these extra amino acids that are not just in the fleshy portion. It's almost like nature knows what it's doing, right? So you can either get some bones from your local farmer's market or your local farm, boil it in water and apple cider vinegar for 48 hours in your kitchen, stinking out your entire house and losing your partner and all your friends because of it. Or you can just pay for the shortcut, get some of the bone broth concentrate from the Australian Bone Broth Company and do it that way. Much quicker. The Australian Bone Broth Company have some amazing flavors in their range. My personal favorite is the turmeric. Asian Fusion may be second, both of which I've been lucky enough to be sent quite a few times actually from the absolute legends at the Australian Bone Broth Company. There's a link to their stuff in the description down below. Since drinking this stuff minimum 4 to 5 times a week, I feel less sore, I feel less stiff, I feel less achy in my joints, my skin feels better. And strangely actually, I don't know if there's any correlation, but I feel a little bit more mobile. I mean, I'm aware that results may vary, but generally this stuff is golden. So, as well as different food and drink stuff, there are a lot of other hacks that I've been looking at over the last kind of 6, 12, 18 months as well to help improve my health, fitness, my performance, my physique and my cognition. Also things like immune system function and mobility, etc. Inflammation levels is something else I'm trying to get down. And one of the things that lays claim and boasts that helps with all of these is an ice bath. But when there's also a lot of evidence that suggests that regular exposure to cold water immersion tools like an ice bath may actually inhibit, so they would stop muscular growth and muscular hypertrophy. Is it worth it? And what should we do? And what's the truth? Who knows? Well, to get the answers to all of those questions from my investigation, click on this link right here to watch my video about ice baths immediately. But a pleasure as always, team. And for the love of God, do me a favor. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome, and peace out for now.